Hello everybody and welcome back to Mangekyo Manga Review. Today I will be covering Chapter 2 of Enen no Shouboutai, or as it's known in the States as Fire Force. The last chapter ended with Shinra on his first mission as a member of the 8th Brigade. This chapter starts with Captain Obi working out as usual, as he tells Shinra that he will represent the 8th Brigade in this year's Fire Soldier Rookie Tournament. He also reveals that he will be joined by the 8th's newest member, a fellow rookie that will be starting today. Shinra asks the captain if the head of each brigade will be in attendance, to which Obi confirms that they will. One of the recurring images we see of Shinra's flashback of the fire that started everything, we see Shinra holding the hand of a fire soldier in the wreckage. We learn this particular person was a member of the 1st Brigade. Shinra is hopeful that someone from the 1st Brigade can tell him a bit more about what happened that day. Shinra, walking down the hall lost in thought, he runs into the newest member of the 8th Brigade, whom apparently he's already familiar with. As they cross paths, the first thing the new guy calls Shinra is a demon. Shinra retorts back that he's a shitty knight. An argument ensues. Outside on the rooftop, Maki is showing Sister Iris some of her flame control by making these little fireball semi-sentient beings, kind of like a little pet fireball. She calls these things Pusu Pusu. Suddenly Shinra and the new rookie's fight takes them outside, where Shinra claims it's time to settle the score. This new member pulls out a hilt of a sword. Just the hilt, no blade. Maki comments on that, and overhearing her, the rookie mentions that his name is Sir Arthur Boyle, and he calls himself the Night King. He then asks Maki and Iris if they are the princesses of this castle. Maki asks Shinra if they know each other, and how so. Shinra then tells Maki that he and Arthur went to the same training academy. In a quick flashback, you learn that the source of the rivalry was actually quite trivial. Their argument stemmed over whether what was cooler, heroes or knights. As they argue back and forth, Shinra finally admits that Arthur is quite daft, he's actually quite popular, to which Maki implies that that's probably the real reason behind the rivalry. Arthur arrogantly claims it's because he's cachet, to which Sister Iris then comments to Shinra that he's actually quite a bit cachet himself. For some reason, this comment makes Shinra think of his mother. Shinra gazes at Sister Iris in appreciation of her compliment, to which Arthur proclaims Shinra has an Oedipus complex. Lieutenant Hanawa comes out and asks everyone what the ruckus is all about. As Maki is informing the lieutenant of what's going on, he notices Maki's little fireball pet, and without warning pours his drink on it, putting it out, shocking and upsetting Maki. He reminds her, fire soldiers mustn't play with fire. Lieutenant Hanawa introduces himself to Arthur, and Arthur smugly implies it must be his pleasure to meet him. Shinra points out that this is our lieutenant. It's a little bit disrespectful he's coming off, and Arthur says all are equals at the round table. Lieutenant Hanawa then makes a comment about how Arthur is a second-rate fire soldier. He calls his team to attention, and he tells them in preparation for the Fire Soldier Rookie Tournament, he stages a sparring session between the two rookies and Maki, telling them to use the full range of their abilities. The two rookies seem to doubt Maki is up to the task, seeing as she's only a second-generation fire user, as opposed to a more advanced third-generation users like themselves. Maki tells them not to dare hold back. Sister Iris is also worried about Maki, to which Lieutenant Hanawa says Maki will be fine. It is here that Hanawa explains that the fire soldiers mainly come from 3 different sources. Regular firefighters from the Fire Defense Agency, like Captain Obi, members of the Holy Soul Temple, like Iris herself, and people with the military background, which is where Maki is from. She specifically specializes in hand-to-hand combat. First, Maki takes on Shinra, who tries to use his abilities to attack from above, but Maki's abilities allow her to neutralize Shinra's flames. After a few strikes, Maki knocks Shinra off the roof, and just before Shinra hits the floor, Maki releases her flame suppression, allowing Shinra to activate his abilities just in time to land safely. Next, we see her turn her attention to Arthur, whose ability is to shoot a concentrated flame from the hilt he was holding earlier to form a plasma sword. When Maki tries to suppress it like she did with Shinra's flames, she found that the concentrated nature of the plasma made it so difficult that she couldn't destroy the flame and was only able to distort it a little. Lieutenant Hanawa explains to Sister Iris how the highly concentrated nature of the flame is what's making it difficult to suppress. The flame is also very hot. Arthur comes forward to claim himself a knight and Maki a princess. After a quick exchange, Maki ends up grabbing Arthur by the wrist so he's no longer able to use the sword, and reminds him that a knight must always kneel before a princess before knocking Arthur to his knees and delivering a brutal knee to her downed opponent. As he gets up, Maki says she's going to punish Arthur for his earlier insulting comment to the lieutenant. An upset Arthur then claims Maki was no princess, and she must have been an ogre this whole time. Maki then gets angry and claims Arthur called her a gorilla cyclops, much to Arthur's confusion, claiming ogres must have a hard time understanding human speech, because that's not what he said. Just then, Sherman flies back into action and adds fuel to the fire by asking Maki why she had an ogre-like expression on her face. Now faced with two opponents, Maki forms a new strategy. Since she's unable to extinguish the flames, she uses them against them, turning their flames into the larger, more aggressive version of the flame dolls she made earlier. Lieutenant Hinawa then explains to Sister Iris that if Shinra is a demon and Arthur is a knight, that would make Maki akin to a witch. She combines the flame of both users to create a larger, more intimidating doll, and asks them if they've had enough. Shinra and Arthur claim that they give up, and that each one blames the other for quitting. Defeating Shinra reflects on how much harder he has to work to become a hero, since he was defeated so easily by Maki. Lieutenant Hinawa comes in and puts out Maki's newest creation again, since the exercise is now over, again, much to Maki's dismay. Captain Obi, still working now, is inside, still wondering why the new recruit hasn't checked in, oblivious to everything that's just gone on outside. So that pretty much sums up this one. In this chapter, we get to see Shinra's first taste of defeat as a file soldier, just an overall humbling experience for him. We also got introduced to Arthur, and we got to see the extent of Maki's power. So guys, what did you all think of this chapter? Personally, it's one of my favorites, as I'm a big fan of Maki, mainly because of her abilities, her fight IQ, and her overall background as a military hand-at-comm specialist. I think that's pretty cool. Once again, if you guys like this review, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, see you guys again.